Hey guys, how you doing? This is OV Transfer Guy coming to you with a quick video. So this morning, had a few challenges on me, and just to kind of go over with you guys, one of the things that it's not one of those things that if, but when it does. So I have this thing where I like to get to my appointments early, sometimes 20, 15, 10. 5 is really pushing it, but I like to be at least 15, 20 minutes. So if it's early in the morning, it requires me to get up early. So that requires me to plan better at, going to bed and making sure I get the allotted amount of rest, especially as you're driving. I think a lot of times we sometimes think that we're going to be okay with a few hours, stuff like that. And while in some cases that's true, especially as you get older, sometimes where you may have slept 8 hours for do you well. But obviously that isn't everybody, and those are under certain cases too. But I was well rested, got up, no problem, got on the road, my normal time, no problem. I know about what time I'm gonna get to my drive. Usually about 5:45, maybe 5:50, something like that. I usually get there for my 6 o'clock that I'm picking up, and then everything works out. Well, today, I left. I actually left a little bit earlier when I look back at the time. Long story short, I had a few things that got in the way. It was foggy, and going out on a country road with thick fog, it forces you to slow down. And if it doesn't force you to slow down, it'll force the person in front of you to slow down. And another thing about the fog, especially if you're not used to going to certain areas, it can block a lot of your view or where you turn off at. Needless to say, I got to my appointment to pick her up at 6:15. And it was 5:53 when she called me. It's like, hey, are you on your way? Are you here? And so I knew immediately. I was like, oh crap. And I was already had turned around anyway to try to cut through some of that fog and get there on time. But here's what helped me out quite a bit. And this is something that sometimes it happens. There's a few things you can do. It helps to have alternative routes, but sometimes in the country land that's hard to do, right? The first thing you do is, if it's a new appointment, a new person that you're picking up, that you're visiting, whatever the case is, I would say indefinitely plan to leave earlier than expected. And we're talking about somebody that's a new client, all that good stuff. Leave earlier, even than you normally would, because you never know what type of anticipated things you may have to come across. It could be a traffic jam somewhere. The area that you live at, that there are alternative routes. Be sure you know your alternative routes. You may never know when you may actually need them. And then of course now, if you're on somewhere where there's no really alternative routes, you could be stuck. And that is where you find yourself in a tough situation, and it can hurt your clientele and stuff like that. Here's what I would suggest to you with a situation like that. Keep open communication with them. Call. I don't prefer you to text unless you're stopping or you got voice activation. But otherwise, call them. Explain to them, hey, this is what's going on. I'm en route. I'll be there. It may seem like you're giving excuses, but you're keeping an open dialogue and you're being honest. And even if the person's upset, at least they'll respect that. And the lady that I pick her up all the time. So she knows my pattern. So she knows that if something is wrong for why I'm late, okay, it must be serious. No issues, no problem. But I say to myself, you know what? Just to anticipate anything, anticipation is good. And anticipation can work bad too, because you can anticipate when you don't need to. But ready preparedness is equally just as important. I plan to leave a little bit earlier than I normally do. Why? Because of potentially there could be more people on the road. There could be traffic, construction, nature calls. There's not a lot you can do. And it helps to know the weather too. A few days that you want to do, know what your weather looks like for the next day, know how long it takes you to get from point A to point B, mapping it. Make sure you have their person's contact information. It helps even with the traffic conditions. If you know there's going to be traffic in certain areas, in your local town, you should have a traffic guide to let you know, hey, there's constructions in this area, Some people say you might be doing too much, but my idea is to provide a service and excellence. And people appreciate that. Some people say you may be doing too much, but this is a client that you want to make long term, that may have friends that have friends that have friends that have friends. You know what I'm saying? So, and you treat everybody equally and fairly. So, I guess what I'm saying is this: stay on top of your game and be aware of any potentials. Use proper preparation when you're going to meet up with your clients. And when you do that, you'll find yourself in a better position. Even when if the situation is totally out of your hand, you know what? Still, communication at the end of the day. Something, that women, you ladies can understand a lot more than us guys. Communication is the key. It can turn a lot of stuff around. So, preparedness, readiness, that is absolute. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Stay strong. OV Transport Guy, signing out.